Greetings everyone and welcome to the Gnorp Apologue. An idle clicker. Now that's I realize that the moment I say those two words together, there are going to be some people like, well, this video is going to be boring. Trust me, it won't be. I mean, obviously I'm going to say that, but trust me anyway. But secondly, actually genuinely trust me, because this idle clicker is surprisingly not that idle and also really quite involved, just based on the presentation of the numbers go big. The core concept is exactly the same with every idle clicker. Numbers go big, brain go brr, but that is delivered in a surprisingly engaging way in the Gnorp Apologue. However, let's get some things out of the way. I have no idea what a Gnorp is, and therefore I don't really know what kind of moralistic lessons we're going to be taught about the Gnorp, other than the aforementioned number go big, brain go brr. But we're just going to go ahead and jump into this and see how far we can get. So let's go ahead and click the start here. Now I've gone ahead and tested out this game a little bit, and by tested out the game, I completely lost 2 days to it and completed the game. So I have deleted my save file, and we're starting all over from the beginning so that I can give you a proper introduction to the... look, I like incremental games, okay? That's why there's a whole section on the Dapperdell Discord where people can suggest new ones for me to lose my time to. To move the camera, hold right-click or spacebar and drag the mouse right or left, or you can just use the arrows as well. To zoom in or out, you can use the scroll wheel. We can go all the way back. Look at our little Gnorp there, lovely. The Gnorp you're following is standing next to the Talent Stone, which is one of the many structures in the game. You can hover over most structures to access their data. You do not have any talent points, so let's move on. But I want to look at the talent zone. This is our prestige meta progress method, very important in any clicker game. Okay, now, from what I can tell, the objective of the Gnorps is to become ridiculously, delightfully, excessively wealthy. And to accumulate said wealth, we must gather shards from this rather innocuous giant rock over here. A big rock. It looks mysterious. We shall click the rock, and it should generate shards. Shards came out. Shards are the main resource of the game, and are used for great things. Gnorps love them. Get more. You can also hold your mouse button down to keep clicking. A clicker where you don't actually need to click. You can just be lazy and just hold the mouse button down, or weigh it down, as some might probably recommend you do. No, I want more shards, more wealth. Oh, well, I mean, that is quite interesting. Well done. Look at you. Such industrious little Gnorps. I will not get tired of calling them Gnorps. I mean, that's their name, so it seems fair. Right, the stash. Building unlocked. The Express and the Slam Club. The shard stash, where all of your shards go. If you hover over it, you will discover that it also allows you to construct a couple of buildings. If you have enough shards, that is. Hover over the shard on the ground to the left, and then click it. Nice! If the shard is close enough, it will fly into the shard stash. I'm sure it will. Top. You can just hold it down and keep going along. Look at those shards get in there. Fantastic wealth acquisition. You got a shard. At the top of the screen, you can see how many shards you have. Once you have 10 shards, you can build either the Express or the Slam Club. Either option will help you rid yourself of this tedious manual labor. The true goal in any clicker game, to automate the everything. If your clicker game actually expects you to continue to click, then it is a very poor example of... well, possibly... You know what? I'm going to walk that back. I was going to say it was a very poor example of the clicker genre, but actually it's probably a particularly pure example of the clicker genre, just a little bit too pure. You need to dilute that stuff down. It is not safe for human consumption. You need a little bit of automation. That's the glory of it, a la Candy Box and all other such clickers that kind of subvert your expectations as you go through. And yes, we are slowly watching me train a bunch of shards over there. Now, I could just bring one or two, but we're going to bring the whole lot. Look, it's very early in the game, okay? Everything takes time. You appreciate the automation more if it was more tedious to begin with. It's time to build something new. The Express, home of the runners who gather and deliver shards, the recommended choice. Or the Slam Club, home of the slammers who generate shards by slamming their hands onto the rock. And just to be contrary, I shall take the Slam Club. Interesting choice. Wait for the Gnorps to finish construction of the Slam Club, and then hover over it and see what you can buy. Employ a Slammer. I absolutely love this. We have one Gnorp to employ. Go forth. Well done. It's a Slammer. Their heads are hard, and so is their job. For now, you'll have to continue collecting shards manually, but you'll soon have enough to buy something else, such and such and such. Ah, look at that little... Is that a trophy that I've won for having such a hard head? Look at their tiny little expression as well. You don't really have much of an expression, unless you... No, you don't even have one when you're about to headbutt the rock, but okay. Now, you see the goal, or rather the sense in having taken some time to train all of this over you. You see, I got to make the contrary choice, and I can still afford the express. Or, well, I will be able to in a moment. We first have to build a Gnorp hut. A house. The built housing that has given us the potential for 2 extra Gnorps while our Slammer is over here slowly flattening the top of their head against the rock. Much like new shoes that you immediately go and run a marathon in, it's less that you're wearing the shoes in and more that the shoes are wearing your feet in. And I feel that when it comes to the matter of headbutting a massive boulder, it is definitely your head that is learning to conform to the new shape the boulder wants it to be in, not the other way around. We are going to build the Express, though. There we go. We actually had something there. The home of the runners, the Express, is a place of delivery. Right, well, I need another Gnorp. Oh, man. Now I need some more shards. Am I regretting my choices? A little bit. But I'm not going to confess that to anyone. I definitely won't record it for posterity. There will be no proof. Come on, you shards, get in there. I need another house, or specifically, I need more Gnorps. I suppose I don't strictly need the other house, if only I could get the Gnorps to just, get out there without housing, but that does seem like it would be a little bit mean. However, on the plus side, we have 15 extra shards. Now, I want to get a runner before I do anything else, but let's have a look at what else the Slam Club can do. So, warm up, 0 jumps, that would cost us 30 shards. By jumping a few times, the Slammers warm up and prepare themselves to be on the receiving end of unspeakable pain. Plus 1 damage per jump performed. Meditation. Slammers now meditate before slamming, resulting in shards that fly further. Spend 4 seconds focusing pre-slam. Plus 5 range, so it goes from 0 to 5 to 5 to 10. It can be disabled if you regret your choice. Right, we have now got 2 new peeps, and over here we've got the overdrive. This is the overdrive bar. Fill it by clicking the rock or flicking shards. When you meet certain thresholds, the multiplier increases. The bar depletes over time, but some upgrades allow it to be filled automatically. Marvellous. I will take 1 runner. With 31 shards, I can increase their capacity. Okay, runners can only pick up 1 shard, but this upgrade can increase that. Well, I mean, I could go for that, I suppose. Okay, I'm going to get you meditation. You can have that, and I'm going to get an extra runner. There we go. 2 runners. Double the progress in bringing things back. But let's go ahead and I'll help you out in order to try and get our multiplier up. Now, I could much faster just do this by clicking individually instead of just holding my finger down on the button. Oh my lord, look at that. Well, that meditation is already paying it for itself in that our runners are having to travel less distance, so that means we're hauling things in that much faster. I approve enormously. What we want at this point, though, is another house, if we can get it, so that I can get some more people to join the Slam Club. There we go, get all of that in there, marvellous. Another house, there we go. Now, we ultimately want to get the House of Shards. If you want to build more advanced buildings and gain access to new Gnorps, the crew at the House of Shards have got you covered. And I just like the name of it, the House of Shards. Unlock advanced buildings and provides housing for 4 Gnorps. Ooh. Well, I definitely want this, but at this point, it's still cheaper to get, well... If we also include the increasing cost, it is probably not cheaper to get 2 houses, but the last house we bought and the next one are still going to be cheaper than the House of Shards for the amount of Gnorps we get, but that one does definitely have more utility. Going to get an extra runner there and a new Slammer over here. And I will help out a little bit by throwing these over there. We're going to want to get quite a few Slammers because that meditation takes quite a bit of time. But there we go. It looks like every couple of clicks we get a big bonus to our range. But otherwise we're just filling up all kinds of shards all over the place over here. Alright, okay, it's going to take us... Well, we've got enough for housing, so I'm going to get 1 more. And then we're saving up for the House of Shards. Actually, it would still technically be cheaper if I'd got 2 of these, but we're going to save up for the House of Shards regardless. And that also means I need a little bit of time. But I'm going to go ahead and grab 2 runners, and I'll bring you back when we're ready to grab the House of Shards. And it looks like we've just about got enough shards. There we go. Perfect. Now, let's get the House of Shards on the build. You see a little Gnorp running out there with a box full of pre-shaped shards ready for construction. It's very, very flat pack housing, it feels. Right, we've unlocked a lot of new options. However, all of them are going to require a fair few Gnorps to jump in. Now, we've got this one, the most expensive of them, a very, very cool one as well, is Gun vs. Rock. The trial of the century is about to begin. Who will win? A dumb rock that can't even fight back? Or the finest guns Gnorp kind can craft? Or the rock analysis lab? At the lab, Gnorp scientists study the rock and the shards it spills forth, provides housing for 2 Gnorps. Right, however, we're not going to save up to get any of these. We are immediately going to pop down another 2, nay, another 3. In fact, we're going to go all in on the Slammers and also warm them up so they've got 1 extra jump. Because right now, our runners are almost getting all the way down to the rock. That is a bad sign for us. It definitely means that we need more Slammers. And now that we've got a couple of them, there's pretty much very, very little delays. It's more or less constant stream of shards coming out. I mean, it can be a lot more than this, I grant you, but still. It's going to take us a little while to save up enough to unlock anything new. We've got the archery range as well. Not all Gnorps are eager to hit the rock with their heads. Go figure. Those Gnorps put their heads together and came up with a neat new concept, the bow and the arrow. We've also got the Gnorp Propulsion Lab. The home of most things propulsion, the GPL unlocks a world of opportunities and is essentially essential. Unlocks bombers. Bombers fall onto the rock for significant damage, but the resulting shards do not fly very far, and also unlocks new buildings and new upgrades. They very much pay attention to the new upgrades part. And then we've got the Cocoa Cafe. This is a place where Gnorps can gather and enjoy some hot cocoa. Unlocks the Mountaineers. Mountaineers climb the pile and throw shards for runners to pick up. Now, by pile, it means this. We really don't have much of a pile right now, so the Cocoa Cafe is not something we're going to look for yet, but it does provide housing for 3 Gnorps. So depending on when you get to this might actually be worth it just for the housing alone. And then the Rock Analysis Lab. At the lab, Gnorp scientists study the rock and the shards it spills forth. We've already covered this one, but this one is very important later on. You're doing great. Sometimes helpful messages will appear here. Click them to dismiss them. Okay, we'll dismiss that. Thank you very much for the help. Right, we want a couple of houses. I'm going to go ahead and buy 3 of them. That's going to give me 6 Gnorps that I'm going to be able to use to start moving things around. Now, just to cover something I said earlier, I have actually completed the game, and I will reveal that it took me a total in-game time of 20 hours. Which is quite impressive, considering I beat it on the 2nd day that I had the game. Read into that what you will. I have no problem stopping playing incremental games. I don't know what you're talking about. Also, you know, with incremental games, you tend to leave them running in the background while you go and do other things. Look, it's part of the game. But I actually found it really, really engaging the whole way through. And despite having completed it, and this is a large part of why we're here having a video on this, because you know, I'm going to be honest, again, incremental games do not necessarily lend themselves to making videos. By their nature, they're a bit more of a slow burn. But the Gnorp Apologue really, really caught me off guard. It really surprised me by how much there was to do, and always stuff to do. And additionally, there were a lot of different builds that I would like to see about trying out right now. So here we are. You can thank the Gnorp Apologue for being so good. Also, I'm going to just double the productivity of our runners right now. I would need to do this twice more to double it again. I can probably afford to. So yeah, okay, that's going to help out a lot in bringing all of this in. So we're not going to necessarily need to upgrade the runners for a little bit. Instead, I can possibly even consider saving up for one of these. And I'm thinking archery range is just a little bit away. So sure, okay, well, I'll help the Gnorps out a little bit by moving these shards a little bit closer so that the runners can then collect them themselves. There you go. And you don't need to go through them in order. And again, the Cocoa Cafe is not going to be useful for us for a little while. So I'm just going to bounce over that one. But there we go. Archery range is up and running. We've unlocked ice arrows and fire arrows. Of course we have. 650 shards and 370 shards. They're quite far away, but I'll show what they do. In time to fire some fire. Loose some soot. Loose some soot. That one fails a little bit, but arrows deal 12 fire damage instead of the base fire damage an arrow produces. I'm actually not sure how much they do, but the Gnorp over here makes the arrows. I love the animations. Every building has stuff like this going on, and if you pay close attention as you go through the game, the stuff the buildings do changes subtly, or sometimes not very subtly at all, as will be the case when we get to the propulsion lab. But there's always something going on visually, and even after spending 20 hours with it, I was still finding new things right up until the end. I'm looking forward to seeing if I spot any new ones early on. Through this playthrough. Right, arrows deal 12 fire damage. Fire damage causes the rock to ignite, dealing the damage over time. Fire damage has the range of 0 to 3. That's always the range between the rock and the stash, which are always a set distance from one another. Then ice arrows later on, a new type of arrow with a shattering effect. The rock freezes after being struck by 6 ice arrows. After a 4-second duration, the ice shatters for 2 times the damage dealt, while the rock was frozen, with a range of 0 to 3. Additional ice arrows do not increase the duration, but instead deal double damage. After shattering, the rock is immune to ice arrows for 4 seconds. Fire shatters ice immediately, but does not prevent ice buildup. Ice arrows deal 7 damage, with a range of 0 to 10. This is the longest tooltip in the game. You got to appreciate a tooltip that gives you stats on itself. That is a very, very helpful tooltip. It is living the life of a tooltip. It is being the tooltip that all tooltips should aspire towards being. Well done, you. All right, I'm going to help the Gnorps bring over a little bit more stuff, though it looks like they might actually be right around the corner from being able to unlock fire arrows. In fact, yes, we can, so let's go ahead and do that. There we go. You can now choose which arrow you want, so as soon as this quiver of arrows is ready, we'll see what that does to the giant rock over here. And since I'm here anyway, I may as well help out a little bit. Right, okay. The little Gnorp there, giving them some advice. Ah, fantastic. A little bit of colour flashed on the screen. Fire. The rock is currently on fire. On fire. Fire damage is dealt over time. Remaining damage before multiplier is and counting down. But is once again on fire. Glorious. That's actually quite a heap of shards there. I approve. Now, we could look at grabbing the propulsion lab once there is a little bit more over here, but I actually think that at this point, it's time for us to grab a couple more Gnorps. We've got 5. How much do we need for the propulsion lab? 3. Well, I mean, I could always just get more houses, I suppose, but I would prefer to increase the amount of carrying capacity and also the amount of carriers to help out with that. And while we're on that topic, I was going to take 123 to get some more jumps, but going to be well worth it. As you can see, we're already knocking off like 4 shards with each slammer right now. I would very much like to increase that a little bit more. So let's go ahead and put another point into that. There we go. We can see those shards flying over there from the slammers. That is beautiful. That is going to make it so much easier for our runners to carry that over. Nevertheless, we've got a little bit more time to build up the shards, so I shall bring you back when we're ready to get the next building. Okay, we have finally unlocked the damage info. Right, collection. This is the amount of time that we're collecting. And you'll notice that you can hover over the individual bars and it gives you the specifically what part of that sum total is coming from the various damage types, or in fact various collector types. There are more than one way of collecting shards. You can see that this does reset after a little bit of time. I think it's based on, I'm not actually sure if it's like 30 seconds or a minute. I believe it will advise us about that in the tooltip somewhere, but I just forget what the tooltip said the last time I saw it. I think it might be a minute based on this, but we're bringing in a decent amount of damage right now. I'm very happy with that. Right, Gnorp Propulsion Lab, let's go. This is going to unlock a couple of new things for us, and in fact, one of the first new things is the way that we build stuff, which you'll see in a moment, I guess. Right, we need some new Gnorps. Specifically, we need a new house, but now that we've got the Propulsion Lab, Ha! No more walking for us. We will jetpack to our location. And also we're building houses on this side now. Well done. Right, so the bomber, Gnorps with jetpacks, flies high, then falls onto the rock, deals 15 damage with a range of 1 to 3. Beautiful. But we've got a couple of new upgrades now. I don't believe there's anything for the archery range. But over here we now have a combo chance. Thanks to the guys over at the GPL, Slammers can be outfitted with tiny high-impulse jetpacks that allow them the ability to combo. And yes, they can combo on combos too. Comboception. The goal of all true Gnorps. Alright, we'll pick that up straight away. Now, let's see if any of them pull this off. It might be a little while before we see it, because... Oh, there we go. So it used the jetpack to get back in position and hit twice. And they can just keep going. That I don't believe there is any max limit. It's just it has to roll the chance again and again and again. I don't believe that it's a diminishing chance, but this is actually starting to get high now. Maybe we will go for the Cocoa Lab. We'll Cocoa Cafe, not the Cocoa Lab. Maybe we should get the Cocoa Lab first, though, to make sure that we're giving our mountaineers the highest yield, the richest cocoa experience. They deserve it, frankly. Right, okay, let's have a look over here. We want a couple of Gnorps with jetpacks. We can also get the Ultra Booster for 150k. So, let's just get this out of the way. You're going to see some very intimidating numbers as the game goes on, and initially, these seem absolutely unattainable. But if you, like me, are a incremental game appreciator, you will know that this is going to be trivial for us in rather short order. That's just how incremental games go. But we're going to want another bomb. Let's get 2 of those on the go. Let's continue harping out over here. Let's continue to push that up. Now this over here, this is what the ultimately what you want for your prestige. Prestige is the way of progressing through the game. It's your meta progress. Realistically, incremental games are rarely, if ever, made so you can complete them in a single run. Actually, no, I can think of a couple that you complete it in one run without prestige. But most incremental and clicker games involve a system of meta progress where you play the game and you get to a certain point where the rapidly increasing cost of things is becoming prohibitive, and the amount of time you need before the next upgrade is becoming quite daunting. And at that point, you're usually expected to prestige and earn some meta currency, which will allow you to have a much easier time of making money in the future. You start again, but you keep the upgrades that you got, and now it's a lot easier for you to get high levels of income, and so you can push back past the barriers that you've experienced in the past. Now, we can get some more housing, and indeed we're going to have to get the Geet protocol, we'd need 120k. The Gnorp Expedited Express Throw protocol is a rigorous training arrangement for runners. With the help of little jetpacks, they will learn to throw what they carry all the way back to the drop point. Sometimes. Chance to Geet plus 10% unlocks a new building. Very important building. We'll come back to that one later, though. Right, I'm going to drop down a bit of cash there. Both of those went over there. Very nice, very nice. But we are definitely getting into the sort of territory now where the Cocoa Cafe is absolutely worth us looking at. However, before we get there, there is a couple of other things I'm going to go for. The Rock Analysis Lab is one of them. Let's get that one up and running. Now, later on, there is going to be a very good reason why that should be one of the first things you get, because the position is important. As you can notice, people are having to run around, moving around, doing things, and so where something is built is going to impact how easily they can do that, and that is going to matter. Now, weak spot discovery. Let's go ahead and do that. It's going to take 2 Gnorps and 500 shards. It seems quite expensive, but oh well. You have an awfully tall pile there. Will it get even taller? Oh, it will. It truly will. Right, we've done weak spot discovery. The Rock Analysis Lab believes that the rock has weak spots that can be exposed. A weak spot appears every 2 minutes. Weak spots can be clicked for 300 damage. Weak spot damage has a range of 0 to 10. Max 5 weak spots present at a time. A bar under the rock indicates the progress to the next weak spot. And then weak spot frequency for 7.4k. Weak spots appear at a greater frequency. Great! Weak spots now appear every 1.5 minutes instead of every 2 minutes. When a weak spot is triggered, the overdrive bar is filled by an equivalent of 5 clicks, so a little bit of automation there. And then, for a truly daunting amount of cash, the weak spot. Turns out the weak spots have weak spots. Weak spot damage is tripled. One day. We've started with quite a few, so let's go ahead and pop, and pop. Oh, look at that. Oh, my lord, that's quite a lot, actually. Right, okay, we are definitely now in the need of the Cocoa Cafe. We're also kind of in the need of a couple of runners, frankly. Oh, we have got... Okay, we've just got our first compression event. Press A and D to the left and right, quickly swap between buildings, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. Now, what that just did... Upgrade unlocked, break time. Gnorp unlocked, Mountaineer. What just happened there is this bar filled up. The rock fights back. Your pile just compressed. And out from the rock came a mysterious spiky ball. It might be a good idea to build a rock analysis lab, if you haven't already. Well, as you mentioned it, we've just got that. But this will move around. It actually is useful for you to try and to get it to move over there if you can. There are some ways to make it much more predictable in when it moves. But this is one of the reasons why you absolutely want the rock analysis lab close. For 1 Gnorp and 100 shards, the mysterious spiky ball floating above the rock has been dubbed Zybellium, and Gnorp scientists move to attempt collection of it. Requires new equipment, and that's going to cost. What does the Zybellium do? We will find out. There we go. Little Zybellium balloon. And can we just appreciate that in this modern age of jetpacks and archery, the modern age of jetpacks, we'll just focus on that part, we're using a hot air balloon. I find that truly, truly wonderful. Right, we've got the Cocoa Cafe over here. We want a Mountaineer. In fact, we want 2. Go forth, Mountaineers. Look, they've got tiny little festive hats because, of course, festive season right now. We are also in the look for a couple more runners. I would like to get up to... Yeah, sure, we'll go all the way up to 10 runners. Another little weak spot there. Now, the little purple kind of sheen there, you notice how some of the stuff is going back to the rock? That's the whole part about the rock fighting back. This is negative damage. So we're doing damage to get the shards out. Their negative damage takes the shards back. The rock is fighting back. It's trying to thwart our efforts to collect its shards. It's trying to collect its shards back, which is just unfair. Those are our shards, and we worked very hard to collect them. How dare it? Let's see. Is there anything else we want to go for? We don't need robotics just yet. At robotics, drones are made and manned. Unlocked drones. Drones deliver shards, but eat 60% of them. And for that reason alone, we're not going there yet. Right, I want to increase the combo chance, because that's going to give us a little bit more oomph over here. But there we go. That's the main thing. We want 2 runners up and about. And here we are. We've got our first prestige. So, I didn't manage to get through the explanation. This is, of course, our click bonus over here. So let's go ahead and just click that a little bit just to get the multiplier up nice and high. But the bar on the right, the one next to the number 1 and the word prestige, that is a measure of how quickly we are collecting material, how quickly we're bringing all of these shards back. You increase the collection rate, this bar will fill up. You accrue a talent point when it is full. Progress is kept between prestige, represented by the grey portion of the bar. We don't see that yet because we've never prestiged, but eventually we will, and that is going to play out. Now, my general rule of thumb, and this is true of most games, most incrementals that is I try to prestige with either 2 or 3 is what I will aim for, especially early on. Towards the later part of the game, where the distance between prestige and the requirements grows larger, I might prestige every 1 or 2. But I used to be very guilty in incremental games of holding out and prestiging as late as possible. It basically came down to the fact that I'm an incredibly stubborn person, and I'm like, well, I know it's taking me forever to get this done, but I'm just okay with it taking forever. I just want all of the prestige coins I can possibly get. And really, that's if you enjoy that, you do that. I enjoyed it because I was stubborn. And then I became a prestige early and often appreciator when I realized how much more game I could play if I prestige the way I think the games tend to expect you to. But suffice it to say, 1 or 2 talent points makes a big difference in these sorts of games, and it's worth just starting again. Certainly, with 1 or 2, or rather, 2 or 3, I meant to say, because that's going to be a big difference in the amount of damage you're going to do. And as you can see, we just got the Zybellium over here, and that's unlocked an awful lot of things. Zybellium has been collected. Zybellium, or Zybe, is a scarce resource that can only be generated during compression events. Use it to unlock the powerful upgrades. Choose carefully. Very well. We can choose King of the Pile. There can be only one. If a mountaineer starts digging while at the highest point of the pile, it is crowned king and digs twice as fast. The king can be crowned again, up to 4 times, for a total of 16 times digging speed. Another coronation can be held 30 seconds after the previous one. The king will not rest as long as the pile is worthy of climbing. Right now, our mountaineers are out there because the pile isn't worthy of climbing. That's why I was kind of hesitant in grabbing that yet. We can grab it over here as well. Zybelium upgrade allowing runners to teleport instead of walking. It may significantly cut down on delivery times if you have a lot of low-range damage. Runners teleport back, to pick up and deliver shards. Teleportation time is 3 seconds and is reduced by all speed bonuses. Carrying capacity is increased by 50% when teleportation is active. Can be disabled, which is an important one. Over here, we can go Combo Power or Fire Breath. Combo Power, Zybelium-enhanced skullcaps are sure to provide a nice bonus for slammers. During a combo, every third hit gets 5 times damage with a range of 2 to 5, 7 to 10 if they meditated. And Fire Breath. If you can put fuel inside jetpacks, why can't you put fuel inside Gnorps too? I mean, that seems like a completely reasonable question that science honestly should have already answered, and I'm quite frankly surprised that they haven't already got an answer. It is practically behooves us to answer it at this point. Slammers will now breathe fire on their 7th combo. Not really the best one for us to choose right now, so maybe science will have to wait. Deals 30 slammer damage as fire, and then stops the current combo. So this one would max out our combo at 7, which isn't the best use of it. We can also get a couple of other things, but these start to get very expensive now. So you've got the Gun vs. Rock. A trial of the century is about to begin, blah, blah, blah. That will have an upgrade in it. The Garden, which itself needs Zybe to go for, and 500k. And the Academy, which will also require an upgrade. The Academy. The scientists at the Rock Analysis Lab have deduced that it is possible to infuse Gnorps with Zybelium. They believe the result is a psychic Gnorp that can lift shards with their minds. Unlocks Zygnorps. Zygnorps. Zygnorps can lift shards with their minds and gain energy based on how much runners deliver. Provides housing for 3 Gnorps. Maybe. Let's have a look over here. We've got the time shift impact for the bomber. Usually, when you land on something, there is only one impact. Time shift technology enabled by Zybelium makes that not so. Bombers now shift back in time after striking the rock, setting up an immediate consecutive strike. That gets much, much better later on. I will not betray how. Well, actually, you're probably going to see how, considering what I'm about to do. But, well, let's see. What do we want to do? Should we go for the teleport? I've actually never taken teleport, so I'm kind of interested in finding out. So, sure. Teleport it is. Right, let's have a watch. How do you do this? Pop. So you just pop over there immediately. And then do you just pop back? Yes, you do. I mean, is this really helping us? It probably will eventually. If I went for speed at this point, well, I mean, that would pull down the time. So sure, we'll grab that. Break time. The runners are in a constant state of fatigue, and now they hear of mountaineers that can take breaks. Maybe the runners deserve a break too. Until the next compression event, runners significantly reduce their movement speed. 20% of normal speed. Now, when I first got this game and was playing it initially, that was, they just stopped. They would do no work for a little while. So that's a big change, actually. After the compression event, they gain a 2 times increase to their carrying capacity and move at their normal speed again. They also gain the ability to take breaks freely. That might be quite nice, but first I'm just going to bump up their capacity a lot so they can really start pulling this in, because, oh wow, we were already at the 3 prestige. That was well worth it there. Yeah, sure, we'll go for that one. We're also going to pick up ice arrows. There we go, and you can fire the ice arrows, I think. Now, we're going to need a couple of Gnorps, a couple more Gnorps, I should say. Let's go ahead and grab 2 of these. We're just going to see if we can maybe get up to 4. 4 prestige. At that point, we absolutely will prestige it. There's like this itch in my brain, like, oh, I've taken too long. I've dallied here over long. But that is so close. It's kind of silly for me not to, frankly. Is there anything else I want to grab while I'm here? You know what? I can give you a couple more jumps. Is there any possibility that we're going to see 5 prestige? Even if we... Oh, my lord, it is actually going up reasonably fast. This is going against my instincts now. But you know what? Fine. We're doing it live on camera. I can at least max out my carriers and just see what they can naturally get to. If they can possibly get up to 5 prestige, now that's going to give us a very, very big choice on what to upgrade in the next wave. Wow, this teleport is actually quite amazing. I have been sleeping on this upgrade for so long. So very long. I really wasn't expecting it to be quite that amazing. Okay, so we've got freezing. There we are, bumping up the damage. Oh, that actually didn't feel as great, if I'm honest. You can increase the size of the cursor in options. Yes, you can. You can also do some other things, which I may or may not show in this episode. And if I don't show them in this episode, then I may or may not show them in a as yet unplanned future episode, depending on whether you enjoy this. If you enjoy it, do let me know with the lovely buttons down below. You know the drill. Saint Algorithmus needs his feed. We could dress it up with nice words, but it is absolutely ritual sacrifice, okay? Saint Algorithmus is a cruel and angry god. There we go. Oh, glorious. Let's get all of that out there. We are up to 4. I don't think we're going to be getting to 5, though, so it's time, at long last, for us to proceed. Look, it was a beautiful dream, but we're not producing enough for the gatherers to gather enough for us to get to 5 prestige. So instead, here we go. Back to base it is. And then it'll slowly fade off as we do a little bit of damage. And this universe is erased. Or eaten, depending on if you believe in Langoliers or not. Right, the Gnorp Apologue. We start once again, but this time we've got 4 orbs over there. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and start. Yeah, that's right. You can tell tall tales about what happened last time. Okay, so with the amount that we upgraded, that was actually pretty cool. I didn't really go over this to showcase how this works. So right now, you start off with access to all of these, but every set amount of prestige points you get, you unlock a new tier. So this is a permanent unlock, and we always have this now. Strength in numbers. The more the merrier. Increases the multiplier by 0.1 for every 4 employed Gnorps. You get 1 bonus Gnorp every 10 minutes. So this is where it starts benefiting for slightly longer runs. Unlocks auto housing, which allows you to automatically build housing when you have enough shards. If I get 1 more point, so if we'd gotten up to 5, we will get Inspiration. Allows Gnorps to become empowered by inspirations, which allow you to fine-tune your units according to your talent and upgrade choices. This allows you to kind of give your Gnorp jobs subclasses. It's actually really, really cool mechanic, and I very much appreciate it. Now, let's have a look through here. What have we got? Well, we've got extra housing. There can never really be enough housing for Gnorps. Every 7th house you build another for free. That's quite a cheap and cheerful one. Bathe in the fire. Ignite to the jetpacks. Bombers get significant increase to their ascent speed after bombing the rock while it's on fire. Runner backstop. Runners evaluate if they should work harder. If the total collection per minute is less than 50% of the damage, runners get a 20 shard capacity increase. Hiking buddy? Let's go hiking. It'll be great, said the mountaineer to its friend. They went, but it wasn't great. Mountaineers bring a friend when they depart the Cocoa Cafe. Friends are half as effective at digging, and they also have small hats and make frowny faces. Oh, I love that. Motivation. Slammers will not be ridiculed. When runners go past the halfway point between the stash and the rock, slammers become furiously motivated and gain the following effects. 2 times damage, plus 5% chance to combo, and trigger the effects of meditation without having meditated. That one's actually a big one for us right now. We've got another 3 points to apply. We've got Explosive Exposition. You won't believe what the rock is hiding. Its weak spots. Hits by grenades reduce the time until the next weak spot appears. We might be a ways from that one. We've got Popcorn. Fire damage now generates shards that fly much further, almost all the way to the stash. Fire damage has a range of 8 to 9, up from 0 to 3. That one is a given. Then there's Super Hot, the power of the sun in the palm of your hand. Fire deals 2.5 extra damage, or rather 2.5 times damage. Fire damage occurs 6 times faster. We will go ahead and we will also grab this. That gives us one more thing to place. Since we're kind of going for a fire build here, also sorry for smacking the mic there, might as well go for Ignite the Jetpacks, but Bullet Breath. If you can fire inside the mouth of a Gnorp, what about bullets? With Fire Breath unlocked, Slammers will spray Gatler bullets on the 7th combo. Now, we haven't even gone to Gatling guns yet, so that one's kind of a ways off. But the other one is Time Shift Delivery. The runners and the arrow makers want in on this timey-wimey thing the bombers do. Honestly, the fact that it just calls it timey-wimey endears me towards picking it. Or rather engenders me towards picking it. Bombers with time shift impact will propel all runners and the arrow maker forward in time by 0.5 seconds whenever this effect occurs. That one can actually be amazing, and can also kind of do double duty, because you, as we saw last time, I spent the point on the runners being able to teleport. Well, why do you need to teleport if you can just like teleport forward in time? I think we're definitely going to grab that one. So there we go. That's all of our points done, and apply locks them in for this run. Okay. Now, this is a part that I wasn't expecting the first time, but I was very thankful to see. It does not expect you to start right from the beginning. You kind of get a little bit of a bonus, based, I think, a little bit on how far you got on the last one. That allows you to jump forward a little bit and get a bit of a head start, and that's what I mean with prestiging. The idea is you are going to prestige, and going to prestige frequently and probably early. Don't drag your feet on it, because if you get to a point where it is taking you potentially hours of time to get the next the required collection rate to get another prestige point, you may as well just prestige and use that time to get even further than you would have anyway. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, and I know this is going to be kind of an odd one, but we're going to go for... I'm actually really tempted to go for the House of Shards straight away. We're going to get the Express first, because they will actually super quickly help. We're going to turn on Auto Housing. Auto Housing will make sure that we build more housing whenever we've got the shards, as long as we are below 5. We're going to want a bunch of runners, and we're going to want to increase the runner capacity up as quickly as we can as well. Let's continue to pull all of this across. We're not going to go for the Slammers just yet. I want to get the House of Shards going, because the first thing I'm going to want is the Rock Analysis Lab. As I mentioned, it starts to become important to get positioning good early on, and your Gnorps aren't going to interact with the Slam Club that much. Another one that they will interact with very little is the GPL. Also, the archery range. They'll just fire from the archery range no matter how far away they are. The Gnorps and guns, that one has very, only a one-time distance impact. The Cocoa Cafe is another one that is genuinely quite worth having close by, though. So let's go ahead and get the House of Shards up and running. There we go. We're going to get some more Gnorps on the go. Let's get you guys out there nice and quickly. Thank you ever so much. Now, the unfortunate thing is we are going to be constantly fighting against using up our shards. In fact, I'm going to turn that off for now, otherwise it will actually get quite frustrating. So we want the Rock Analysis Lab, and we also want probably the Cocoa Cafe up and running as quickly as we can. So I'm just going to skip forward in time a little bit, going to employ some of that GPL timey-wimey shenanigans. Okay, we finally got everything in position, and I can get some slammers to help me out with this. You don't want to know how long I spent being stubborn to make sure I got the perfect positioning. Like I said, I've got this thing about, just like, I know what is the right way, quote and end quote, the right way, and then I know what I want to stubbornly pursue. These two things are less often than I would like the same. Right, let's get another slam. There we go. We can actually start seeing this happening. Now we will start seeing that as our collectors are coming over here, they will start approaching close to this, to the rock, or at least they should, if they don't just stop grabbing things around there. I guess they have to actually walk past it to trigger the kind of rage mode for the slammers. I wasn't aware of that. That's something new, I suppose. Right, as for over here, we really don't need any extra peeps down here, and we are still not building auto houses by choice on that one. I will help out the slammers a little bit here. Let's get some more shards out there for the collectors to go and collect. You'll notice that the collection is pretty low. The collection is only low because the damage is low. we're not producing things for them to collect, and that's the only reason that it's not happening very quickly. Right, there we go. Let's get... Oh, actually, no, we're going to need some houses before we can get the archery range. Okay, well, I guess I'll build 2 manually then. There you go. And then we just need a little bit more, and we can get the archery range just as soon as we have got the Gnorps available for us to do so. But then we can start seeing how fire is going to start affecting things. Of course, we've got to get up to the point where we can get that. Oh, our screensaver mode is actually quite cool. Depending on the setup, screensaver mode will turn on after a certain amount of time, but if you click that, it's actually really, really nice. It'll just follow a random Gnorp around, or you can cycle between the various Gnorps. So, for example, you can watch a runner gathering things, or you can watch one of the Slammers. The Slammer's going to be moving around quite a lot. There you go, that little red aura is letting us know that they have been incensed by the ridicule from the runners. How terrible of them. And you just click to come out of screensaver mode. It's nice and easy there. Right, let's go ahead and get ourselves... Where is the archery range? Have we... There we go. Let's get that one going up, please, and indeed, thank you. At this point, I'm going to turn on auto housing. I always want to have some people... Oh, wow, this is big enough that I actually went all the way back there. That's quite an interesting one. Wasn't expecting that. Right, we've got to get a couple more peeps, though, unfortunately, before we can get up to fire hours and we can really start seeing how much fun we can have over here. Of course, getting weak spot as well wouldn't be a bad choice, but whilst the runners are getting close to the midline, our slammers are doing a fair bit of work over here, so I'm actually quite happy with that. Right, I'm going to help them get enough cash together for us to get up to fire hours, and then we should really start seeing things kicking off. Oh, that was a good couple of arrows there. Well done. That's some long-range archery going on. Very much approved. There we go. This is marvelous. I might actually have to upgrade the runners at this rate. Honestly, looking at it, we might want to go for that. Let's certainly get them up so they can carry 5 each. I mean, there still are 10 runners, so I don't think we need to go too much in favor of increasing their number. But getting them up to the point that they can carry that much is definitely going to keep the slammers properly motivated over here. And we are almost up to 600 already. There we go. 611, 650. Perfect. Let's get those fire arrows. Right. We should... Well, they've got to make 2 new quivers of arrows, and 1 more left to go. Do we want to get some extra slammers? I think we do. Let's actually increase the warm-ups and then get another 5 slammers. This should definitely get us a good collection going. There we are. Look how much better that is. That is wild. Though, the one thing with this is if you're going with a fire build, definitely if you're taking... the popcorn, because of the range increase, we're probably not going to see the runners crossing that halfway mark. They're very, very limited utility very early on. But you notice up here, where the prestige grey bar there, this is what we've achieved previously, the 4 points that we've already spent. So we're now already trying to get a new record. You don't get prestige for the same amount of collection rate from the previous iterations. You do need to keep pushing. And that's something that is actually quite nice. But look how quickly we're collecting now. That's actually quite amazing. There we go. We should be able to get loads of extras. There we are. Let's get all of that out. And now to see why having mountaineers over here is important. Let's get 2 mountaineers out there. They've got quite the tower in order to climb, which I think they should enjoy. There they go, hopping their way along. Now they're going to try and get to the highest peak, I believe, or at least when they started their ascent. And then they'll start digging down. But as it mentioned, for mountaineers, what they will do is they'll start throwing the shards further along for the runners. So there we go. But if they're close enough, they will actually just throw them straight into the stash, which is actually very, very useful. And later on, you might be using that quite a lot, in fact. But notice how this bar is filling up. The compression event occurs when enough shards have accumulated I think it's in terms of the highest peak rather than the total volume, but I could be wrong about that. Compression bar indicates your progress to the compression event, which occurs when the pile grows. Oh yeah, it is the highest peak. Tall enough. Compression events increase your tier, and we're currently on only tier 1. We got to tier 2 in the first prestige round, so we should easily be able to get to this one. All right, now we're going to want some new friends. Definitely want to increase the jumps, so let's go all the way. That is actually very nice. Look at the amount of jumps we've got going. There we are. Look at all of that glorious shards being spilled over there. Fantastic. All right, time for us to get the propulsion lab up and indeed running. We're still doing this manually, but that's fine. We are now going to unlock the ability for us to get a bunch more bombs in the sky. And because of the auto buy, this gets so much easier to do. We're already buying more. And as you can see, we're now starting to get to the point where we've just got lots in the bank at any one time. I'm just going to help out a little bit just to keep our tier, or rather our multiplier up. There we go. Get that one going as well. This is perfect. There we are, all the way up to 4. Perfect. So you can see there that the weak spot is our second highest damage dealer in the last minute, which is always a bit of an interesting one. Right, let's get a couple more out there. In fact, considering what we're going to be aiming for with timey-wimey shenanigans, we are going to want a lot of bombers. But it's going to take us a little while to get all the way there. We'll go up to 40 on combo chance straight away. We probably want to get some better digging for our mountaineers. Now, the mountaineers will only be out here if the mountain is worthy of their time. So eventually the highest peak will drop below a certain threshold, and then the mountaineers will just go back. And it's that back and forth that happens, which is why getting the Cocoa Cafe close to the rock is a good move, ultimately. That's these two have slow-moving back and forth. Like with the Zybe balloon, back and forth is quite a slow process. So if this is really far away, you're definitely going to feel that, which is why I feel making sure that these are relatively close helps out a bit. Now, getting up to 3 columns is actually a big improvement there, but we might be a little ways off. They are doing a fairly good job, though, of keeping up with the demand, but ultimately we kind of want them to stop. I want to be producing a lot more. So let's get 10 bombs in total. We're going to build a couple more homes then. Do we want fire arrows or... No, we want to stay on fire arrows, not ice. Ice is not what we're building for. Later on, we can build towards it, and you can always check what you can do later. But that's gonna be a little ways away. We can get Super Shatter, and later on, we can even go for Frost Fire, which allows both fire and ice to exist simultaneously, which is a very important one. But as we can see, we're now starting to see some really, really big peaks happening, and some of them very far away from where the runners can get to. So we're probably going to see our first compression event happen shortly. Let's help out with a weak spot there. And there we go. Compression event triggered. You're still doing great. Thank you very much, game. It's a very positive game. I like it. Right, now, in terms of our runner capacity, if we want to get up there, what we really need to do is we need to get their ability to haul to be increased, because we need to increase our rate of gathering. So I'm going to go first and foremost for speed, and then I'm going to invest a fair bit in getting their capacity up as well. There we go. Now, over here... Oh, no, Zybe, go back. Right, we want to get the Zybilium Collector. Can I get it to get in somewhere nice? That's right. Oh, perfect. The Zybe balloon has to go very, very short distance in order to get there. But unfortunately, our mountaineers don't feel like getting up to anything right now. So, improved digging. It's hard for mountaineers to destroy what they love. But if you offer up some groups for them to tell tall tales to, they'll take to the top and tunnel straight through. Mountaineers double the amount they dig. And then the digging width... Efficiency is at the heart of Gnorp kind, or at least it should be. Mountaineers can dig wider with this upgrade, and that is surely more efficient. And it very, very much is more efficient. Yes. It looks like our current gathering is it's kind of trailing a little bit behind our damage dealing, so we might want to look into improving that shortly. But all of our runners are about to get a big, chunky upgrade, so I'm not too worried about that one. We're probably going to get some more bombers as well to go along with that. But it's time for us to get Time Shift Impact. So there we go, bop. So now, you'll notice when they hit twice. You kind of see them bounce around multiple times. And if we're watching, there they come, you'll see the runners just kind of glitching all over the place because they're jumping forward 5 seconds in time. Likewise with the Arrowsmith. If we have a watch of this, you'll notice that they are the ones that are jumping forward. Now, this doesn't affect the archers themselves, only the person making the arrows, from what I understand. So that is something to bear in mind as well. Now then, we can get weak spot frequency increase, and since weak spots do actually provide us a good, solid bit of damage, I see no reason not to, but we can definitely start to see where the bombers are starting to outpace the slammers, though the slammers are actually quite high up there considering. Let's see if we can't get them even higher up there by increasing combo chance. Now the next one's 18k, and on only the second prestige, that is actually still asking for a lot, but still I'm not sure that's completely out of our reach. Is there anything else we want to go for? Well, I guess we could get robotics, I suppose, but it's not my first choice, you understand. But you know what, just for the sake of us seeing it, let's go ahead and get this up and running. Now, I would like very much to get some more capacity and more speed specifically, but over here we've got the drones. So drones are a bit of an interesting one. First and foremost, we'll cover what we've got. So, but get yourself a drone, but be careful, they are hungry. Drones pick up a fixed amount of shards based on the current tier. So based on, when it says tier, it means the compression tier. So as you go through the compressions, whereas the runners, if I don't give them any further upgrades, will just keep lagging further and further behind, the drones automatically catch up. But drones consume 60% of the picked up shards to sustain their engines. Drones die during compression events, so you have to buy them again. But from the ashes, something new is born. Baby drones who die the following compression event. So it's kind of a brutal life cycle, but you know, it is the circle of life at the end of the day. Drones become more expensive with each compression event. So along with their capacity and the fact that they die during the compression event, you do have to buy them fresh every single time. You can kill drones by clicking on them, but that doesn't spawn a baby drone, sadly. Drones are not generally that useful, but they don't require Gnorps in order to get, so I guess in that sense they're not too bad. You know what, I'll go ahead and I'll buy 5 of them. We'll wait until we've got 1.5 and we'll see how these work. So they're going to go down. They pick up a very fixed amount, regardless of the or rather because of the fact that they increase the amount they can pick up based on the compression level. They will always collect a similarly sized column of shards, but again they will consume over half of it on their way back. Still, that can get you an extra prestige point if you're not too far off, and so it can well be worth it sometimes. Let's continue to help out a little bit over here. Now, we want to get up the damage we're doing to encourage the collection, because right now we're out collecting by a big way. So for this one, I'm going to say, do we want more slammers or do we want sure, let's go for more slammers. We're going to upgrade it to 5 jumps, so they're going to be doing a good chunky bit of damage there. There we are. Let's get all of those going. The mountaineers are helping out as well. Very, very nice of them. Thank you very much indeed. There we are. The slammers are now outperforming the bombers. We can help out a little bit as well. We definitely need to get this up there, although actually, that being said, we're now dealing twice as much as the collection. Now, the way that the rock is recovering is that it increases the amount it recovers based on the height of the mountain. So you do need to increase your collection rate along with your damage rate. It isn't just a repeat every single time. It gets harder to cause a compression event to occur because it increases the amount it's recovering every tick. So you do need to be constantly on the move. But I think we can possibly get another prestige point. I don't think that's outside of our reach. We can go for break time though. Runners are in constant state of fatigue. Yeah, sure, okay, we'll go for that. Now that's going to probably usher on the compression event, but for now I'm just going to invest, since this is going to double the after the compression event they get ×2 increase to their carrying capacity. I may as well increase their current carrying capacity. You can change color with F1 to F7 or shift +1 to 7. Do not press F8. Now I'm not going to give anyone any points for trying to guess how long it took me to press F8 after I was specifically told not to. But I will save you the pain of finding out why that's a bad idea. Or maybe I won't. We'll see. Right, we need to increase our damage in order to cause the compression event to happen, and then our carriers are going to get double carrying capacity, which should be able to push us over the edge, which I would be very, very happy with. Do we want to go for... what do we want to upgrade right now? Well, ultimately, we're going to need some more housing. How much is the housing costing? Ooh, 17k per house. My lord. I might be a little ways off from us. I'm going to be honest. I might be asking quite a lot. We could, though. I am that stubborn. Okay, as you can see, a couple of things have happened. We're up to 10 drones. I've gotten the capacity up to 20 for my runners. They are still slow. We have also gotten a couple of extra bombers. Some from housing that was built and one from the extra 1 Gnorp that we get every 10 minutes. And finally, our combo chance is now up to max. There are maximums for quite a few of the upgrades. They don't just go on forever. So we're outputting about as much damage as we can do right now outside of getting more housing. By the way, we have from buying more housing, I suspect, unlocked a new upgrade called additional housing. Gnorps are getting crowded. We need more housing. Every third house you build builds another one for free and applies retroactively. However, that one needs a Zybe, and you also need 9 Gnorps just hanging around. Anyway, compression events cause your mountaineers to come down from the pile and your drones to die, which would be very, very sad. I'm going to pop collection over here and damage over here. You can actually move these all around. You can press W to look at the top of the pile, by the way, which is also very, very nice. And one thing that I didn't showcase is the different backgrounds. So that's F1, F2, F3, F4, that's very high contrast, F5, F6, F7. And if you thought I was going to show you F8, you have got another thing coming, my lad. Now, right now, we are doing a lot of damage, and what we really want is the compression event so that all of our runners will get double speed and also double capacity, which would put them at 40 capacity, which might be enough to push them over this edge. Again, I kind of like to go for the level 2. Yes, I know. Local content creator tells viewers, don't be like him, be smarter than him, prestige often and early, and then proceeds to ignore own advice. Shush, Hugh. Right, one trick you can do though, and that is, as soon as all of them have fired their arrows, we're going to switch over to ice. Actually, they're bringing more out all the time. I'm going to wait for them to be ready. Okay, switching to ice. Now, the reason why we're doing this is as soon as they have frozen it, I'm going to activate all of the trigger events then, and then hopefully I'll still be able to switch them back to fire. So we've got to wait for it to freeze. We'll only have a few seconds once it freezes. There we go, pop, get all of these done, and then switches over to fire, and there we go. All of that gets ejected. Double damage again from ice, from the shatter effect. So that just gave us an awful lot of shards all at once, and look at the collection going on now. There we go. Ultimately, I didn't really need to get the extra drones, but I wanted to show you the baby drones, because baby drones aren't the same as the grown-up drones. They do not collect. They become damage dealers, as you can see right there, the little drones. Unfortunately, the compression event, the kind of reverse damage that the boulder did in the compression event is going to make this graph very skewed for a little bit, but it should get better in just a moment. But there we go. We got quite a lot there, and we've also got another bit of Zybe. Now, we're actually not far off getting a 3rd prestige. Really, Aavak, am I going to go for a 4 and a 3 prestige? I am being everything that I shouldn't be. Don't be like me, okay? Be better than me. Ah, my lord, I really am being a scallywag. However, looking at that, we might in fact be able to get Gun vs. Rock, considering what we've got on the go. You know what? Sure, let's get some guns out there then. And I'll be able to showcase that a little bit as well. I may as well go ahead and eject all of that. Stay up at the 5. We're almost there. So, Gun vs. Rock. what we have over here is the Rifle Gnorp. A Gnorp with a gun. What could go wrong? Rifle Gnorps shoot bullets that deal 5 damage with a range of 0 to 10. They can actually get it all the way into the stash. Bullets deal raw damage, which means they are not affected by the multiplier. Bullets double their damage on compression events. And current damage, 20. So with each compression event, the bullet Gnorps get stronger. Much like the drones, really. You've also got the Gatling Gnorp. Not enough Gnorps currently, but we can probably get up there. Empowered by Zibellium and a rigorous selection process, the Gatling Gnorp is able to withstand the heat and knockback of the Gatling gun. Gatling gun bullets deal 2 damage, so they're less than half as effective as rifles, with about half the range, but they do a lot more. They shoot a lot more, as the name would suggest. Bullets deal raw damage, blah, blah, blah. Bullets double their damage on compression events. The current damage is 8, and the current damage here is 20. You can also get them more ammo, and you can also unlock the grenade launcher, which is something you absolutely should. Right, how much is the next housing? 59. We can definitely get a Gatling gun up and running. Sure, I'm not going to wrap up this episode without showing you at least that. Though there are many more buildings besides to unlock. Some of them we haven't even gotten to yet. But we can also currently get the balloon gunner. So why not equip the balloon with a gun so that it can shoot the rock when not busy picking up Zybe? There's no good reason not to buy this upgrade. Do it. The balloon now shoots rifle bullets when idle, so we'll see that a little bit. It'll get into position and start shooting. It does get a bit of knockback from the bullets, as you'll start to see it. It's drifting away very slightly, and then eventually it'll drift ever so slowly back. Now, if I wanted to go ahead and get a couple of extra bits and bobs, we absolutely can. Let's get some drones out there. Gonna need 6k for this one, 6.8 specifically. There we go. We've now got 5 drones. We're just waiting on the 4th Gnorp so that we can get the Gatling Gnorps up and running. There we go, almost there. Okay, get that Zybe going. Now, the next house is 89k. They do get very expensive, but what's happened is our little Gnorp there. Oh, I'm sorry, I failed to show you the image. So if we do another video on this game, I will make a point of showing that. But they go into the store, they buy the Gatling gun, and now they're heading out there. And as you can see, they're shooting. But the thing with the Gatling gun is, as it warms up and spins, it starts shooting faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And ever so slightly, we're going to start seeing this Gatling gun slowly overtake the other damage types. It does. I love the change of expression as they're firing. Oh, it's glorious. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Some of the bullets do miss, though, which is a bit of a shame, but, you know, it is what it is. All right, let's get that going out there. There you go. Is there anything else we can do? Well, I mean, if I had 2 Gnorps, I could get Delivery Rush over here, which would mean that runners get a 1 pixel per second increase to their speed for a short time after delivering shards, so they rush back out there, which would probably be enough to push us over to 3 shards. Maybe something we want to do, but I wouldn't mind getting regular Gnorps as well. Can we afford the house? Well, we're not that far off it, I guess. We've already got the grenade launcher. When the Gatling Gnorp is reloading, they will take the time to launch a grenade over here. That is one of the... Oh, there we go. We've got our 3rd prestige. Oh, well, fantastic. Do we want us to wait and show the actual rifle? Yeah, we kind of do. So, okay, we'll wait for that one. The damage and collection meters cover the last 1 minute. There we go. It is a minute after all. Marvellous. But the 1 Gatling Gnorp is out damaging the fight. Now, it does take a while to get back into position, which is a bit of a shame, but still, that just shows you how much damage that 1 Gnorp is doing. Again, that expression. Look at the concentration and or the terror as the gun goes wildly out of control and they're no longer aiming so much as just being propelled backwards by the bullets. Fantastic. But there we are, that little grenade there as well. Let's get that out there. Very, very nicely done. Very nicely done indeed. There we are. The house has been made, which is perfect. Let's go ahead and for 2k, we can just, well, actually, we'll get 2 rifle. There they are. Making a fantastic new purchase, and also since they were immediately reloading, launching some grenades as well. Not too bad on the... We're not going to wait for 4. I refuse. I'm going to put a hard limit on that one. But we can zoom in a little bit and see them down there. There we go. Again, kind of concerned expressions there, but look at the amount of damage we're dealing now. It's actually very, very nice indeed. But that is where we're going to prestige. I think, I guess I could, well, you know what, since we're here. No. I would need to get more housing in order to afford this one. So, no, I'm going to press the prestige button so I'm not convinced to wait any longer. There we go. All right. Boulder, you can have all of your shards back. And 3 extra prestige points for us to spend on who knows what. If you would like to see what else we could upgrade into, then again, do let me, and more importantly, St. Algorithmus know by rubbing your face all over those lovely buttons down below. Disclaimer, don't actually rub your face on your monitor. That probably isn't good for you or the monitor, actually. So you can just click on it with your mouse. That will be sufficient. But if we have a quick gander at what we've got, we have unlocked the Inspiration. So this allows Gnorps to basically take a subclass. And we've unlocked 5 new items that we can look at. One of them is very tempting, and that is the Gatling balloon. But I will leave the others for you to discover should we record more. But that is going to be it from me and from the Gnorp Apologue. I really do hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video, whether it be of this or something else. Do let me know what you thought about the game in the comments down below, and if you are yourself a fan of Incremental and Clicker games, then consider joining us over on the Dapperdell Discord, where we are slowly building up a somewhat comprehensive list of games that you might have already tried, might get reminded of a beloved game from years past, or find something new, who knows, or maybe you'll be able to introduce the rest of us to something new. But that is going to be it from me, so until next time, and as always from myself, and, well, the Gnorps who are currently hiding out in the stash. Do take care, everyone. Oh, you're still here. I guess curiosity got the better of you. Don't worry, it's gone the better of most of us. I've given ample opportunity for everyone else who value their eyeballs to leave though, so remember, you did this to yourself. Bask in F8. And curse your eyeballs. And also F8. Not me though. I am blameless.